up now. Yeah, it looks like the advert's coming on, so I'm hoping that that's worked. Sorry about that, that's very annoying. I do try and keep an eye on the Twitch chat. Yeah, I think I obviously just missed it. I was too into the gaming, too into the coding, which is very frustrating. So sorry about that. Hopefully you can all kind of see that now. Okay, right, so where were we? So yes, what I was trying to do, oh, is the Patreon page up already? Yeah, not really. It should really be, shouldn't it? I really should get on with that. I just haven't done it yet. Isn't that awful? You know, I basically turning down. People are saying, "Give me money," and I'm saying, "I haven't had time to set up the page." You know, I don't know. It's the kind of thing that I really should get on and do. Anyway, so we've got about 15 minutes left, so I'm going to crack on and see where we can get to. So basically what I've decided is that each of these organization roles actually also need a life option. I'll explain why. Because when we have, just go to the new organization role, these things just have types, and this is really the description of that type of job within the organization. So basically how many of them there are, how many vacancies there are, how quickly the vacancies increase based on the size of the organization, and that kind of thing, whether they're essential positions, and also the seniority. Hello, Noise Pass Filter. Hello, my Fu Manchu. Nice to see you guys here. So basically what I want to do is, I also have this thing called a life option. Now this is a thing that you can do, a thing that a character can do in the game. So for example, it can take a job, or he can retire, or he can, or she can, become a hippie for a while, or something like that. So what I'm thinking is that each of these job things needs to have an idea of the particular option that's attached to it. So really what I want to say is add life option, history, arena, life stage, president, for example, and I need then the president's, president, there we go. Okay, and I need their duration of years and their implied status. The implied status is like the character's reputation, kind of general reputation for doing that job. Obviously president, you get legendary status. So basically that's very similar. There's not much more to it. In some ways it feels like I could combine that with this. Stop me if I'm wrong. But if I was just to add on here the number of years and the implied status, then within organization role I could basically do the addition of the life option. Let's do that because that's the simplest option. Someone was mentioning about old school Vim. Yes, that's me. I'm an old school guy. I've been coding for a while and I've settled on Vim and I like it. So I'm not making any apologies for that. It is just the way it is. Okay, so this is the organization role that we've added. Now what we need to do is add the duration, which I think is that. Is that the duration? So you intake, actually, I thought it was, yeah. You can't be in a life stage for 255 years or more, so that's fine. Okay, and then the other option was the implied status, which is a value. A value is a poor name, but basically it means like an attribute value. So like this, is it good, bad, that kind of thing. Okay, so now we've got that. I should be able to just call add life option. But I can't remember how to call this. How else do I call it? Yes, that's right. I call it with the stage, the duration, and the implied status. And then basically, that gives me back a pointer to that option. Now, I don't really want a pointer. What I really want is the index, so that I can say role index life option index equals the add life option thing. Now, I could do this. I could kind of fake this slightly by just saying life option count, but that sucks. -1. Oh, because that kind of, yeah, I don't really like that. I could store the index. Yeah. Okay, what I need to do, the reason that I can't just return the index, I need to actually return the pointer, is that in some cases we actually use the pointer straight away to set certain things on the life option, like the attribute. In fact, I only think the only times we do that is in those two cases. Yeah, Vi for the win, what can I say? It is by far the best editor in the world, what can I say? Nothing else than that, that's for sure. Okay, so so I don't really want to pass back. I could pass back the. I could just do this. Yeah, I could do something like this, where I say I pass back the pointer and the index. Yeah, that seems. Where I could just get the index again the 4 times that I need to. Yeah, that's, well, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. To be honest, that's not very readable anyway. So that's even less readable. But life, new life option result. Let's create a little struct here. Let's have the new life option pointer, and then let's have the unit index. This is a struct. So then basically here we need to say the new life option result, and then we have a result. I'll just create one here, and then the result dot pointer equals option result dot index equals. Let's just save that off there. Use the VS Vim plugin. Yeah, no, I know the feeling. I have to say I avoid Visual Studio completely. Even when I'm coding on Windows, I just don't like it, so I don't use it. You can always install Vim on Windows, and then you just build everything using a build script, which is kind of what I'm doing. So I should show you my build script because it's brand new. This is the entirety of my build system currently. It's that. 48 lines of stuff, and it's just a shell script. All it does is sets my C flags, sets my libs, builds the thing in a Unity build, and then the Unity build itself is, oops, not all of that, basically just this. All of the CPPs that I want to build, and that's that. Very simple. I'm over build systems, totally over them. Okay, where were we? Before I started ranting. Okay, right, add life option. Yes, so we now got the pointer attribute, and then we ignore it, the result in that case. Hopefully that's optimized out by the compiler, so it doesn't bother copying anything if it doesn't need it, which means that then, I think it's impossible to live without Vi in any line of work, to be honest. I use Vi pretty much exclusively. I use Vi for running my emails. I use Vi wherever I can. So, right, let's just rebuild the tags. Okay, so here's the add organization role. So now we have our life option. So now I can say new life option result equals or option, and then I can basically say the role index equals option index. Perfect. So I can just do that there. So that just saves everything, and then I don't need the role stage, which means that if I am adding one of these things, I don't need that, but I do need a uint32 for the new, what I was doing now, new life option index. Perfect. Cool, I'm going to pack this down as well. I probably need some flags here, but I just haven't done it yet. At least a uint8 would do it, because then that would align correctly, wouldn't it? So that would be good. I could pack that up then. Right, so what's going on here? So the role, we don't have a stage now. Right, so now we can't do this anymore, because when we were doing available jobs, we were just saving out the stage. And that is all very well. But it's not going to cut it. So what we could do is we could look up the new life option, or we could just pass back the new life options. So instead of passing back a life stage array, well, it's only for the GUI. I think it would be fine just to pass back the new life options, to be honest. Let's just try that. Or we could just pass that an array of indexes. Yeah, let's do that. So this is now new life option index. Brilliant. Okay. So let's just make sure that that's still working. Looks like it's still working. Thank goodness for that. I've had real problems with the ingest servers in the UK. I think it could just be my internet connection, but I've had to switch from Paris back to Heathrow Airport, you know, that kind of thing. It's been kind of annoying. Anyway, right, so now available jobs. Where's that been called for? That'll be in the GUI. Here, that's right, so now I need just a uint32 of these. So now I've got a life stage index, which comes from that job index. Basically what I need to do is go to the history and grab the life option. Is it life option count? I can't remember. Let's load the new history struct. Life options. Generic life options. Well, that's no longer true. It's no longer generic life options. So I'm going to change that. That will cause everything to break, but that's okay. We can handle that. So let's search for generic, the source. Right, so that's no longer generic life option. That's no longer generic life option. I've done that one. Generic life option, max generic life option, max life options. Change that one. Same with that one. Okay, and that doesn't matter. Okay. That's probably not going to compile because I haven't finished it. Okay, so that's now life option count. Nope. Life options, and then we can just take, let's just do this in two stages. Use index is life stages job index, life option index, and now this will give us the new life option. Equals, and then we can just ask for the option stage. Brilliant, so that means we should be back to where we were before. Right, unused life identifier, oh yeah, because it was generic, wasn't it? So let's find it, max generic life options. There it was, okay. Okay, so we'll look at these errors. Unknown new operation role. What? Okay. Where is that defined? Did I call it something else? I'm sure it was called that. Well, I called it add operation role. Maybe I didn't. Oh, organization role. Idiot. I'm going to regret doing that. Anyway, I'm not sure I want to do this anymore anyway. So I'm going to take that out. So I still need to do in choices array with operations. Let's just keep that in there. Okay. New life option result. Did you mean new life option? What's wrong with that? It's in the wrong place. Where is it actually defined? It's defined too low. That's fine. Pop it up here. Let's just pop it just above there. I think the add organization role is also in the wrong place then. That's probably the problem. Let's take this chunk of code, pop it underneath there. There we go. Okay, still some errors. There was an error as well, I saw. Where was it? Yes, I knew there was a blank line somewhere. Okay, no Varka conversion. No, that's because this is no longer one of those. It is now one of these. Okay, role indexes option index. No member name index. Yes, that's because it's not called that. It's called new life option index. Okay, no matching. Okay, yeah, fine. So now we just need to go through each of these and basically add in a little bit more information to the organization role so that we can describe the life option that we're talking about. Oh, I just thought of something. This will mean that we'll get one life option per organization. So that means that if we have a cleaner here, it'll be a different cleaner to this one. But I don't care about that because I maybe want them to have different durations anyway. And this code here, that's the entirety of all of these different types of objects. There's not a lot of objects. I'm maybe losing, I don't know, 100 bytes or something. That's not really worth worrying about. Well, let's see if I can get this done before the end of the stream. Be nice to get back to parity. Okay, so we've got president, we've got the, this is the senator. Okay, return senator 10, excellent. Then we've got the manager, middle manager I think they call it. Right, now this is the interesting thing here, it's 15-year term for being a manager. It's kind of like, it's not just a job, it's like a career, 15-year career or so. Now the normal manager status is actually average, but if he's going to get a job at the Senate, that's actually a really good job, so I'm going to actually up that to good. And this is a good reason, this is an upgrade to the previous system. Before, any management job would be like an average status, whereas now it's quite nice to have political assistant. Where is that? Yeah, where's that? Yeah, so in the same way, if you get a political assistant job, that's actually fair, not longer just average, which is really cool. Security guard, though, I think that's still poor. Being a security guard at the Senate is no better than being a security guard anywhere else. Okay, same with light stage councillor. Let's find the councillors. They are 10 years and good. Manager, a manager at the council. It's a planetary council. It's not quite as good, but it's not bad. And this political assistant at the council was kind of average. That's like the basic job. But this is the interplanetary senate, so this is for the whole of the Federation, whereas this is just for one planet. Okay, security guard, same thing. That can be 10 and poor. Right, university. Let's see. Okay, professor lasts for 20 years, and that's an excellent. PhD student is 8, and that's good. So kind of you can see what I'm doing here. I used to have a really old, nasty object hierarchy, which I'm slowly replacing, which is basically what I'm doing here. And I'm replacing it with much more tabular data. You can even see the way that it just appears tabular, just in the way that the data is being laid out here. And this is just good for a number of reasons. One is it makes this very fast because I can go through the whole lot very quickly rather than jumping around a whole bunch of different pointers and arrays, which is always a bad idea, I've discovered. There's lots of reasons why you don't want to do that. It's just basically the slowest thing that you can do if you have lots of pointers to pointers to pointers. Right, naval officer, ship captain, excellent. Yeah, that's quite high. Admiral shouldn't be legendary now. Okay, that's fine. 7 years, good. An ensign is probably fair. Yeah, 7 years, fair. Right, same with this. Navy outpost ship captain. Yeah, it's not quite as good. Yeah, okay, so a ship captain in the Navy HQ is very high. But a ship captain out slightly is going to be good. And that's going to be fair. And that's going to be average, I think. That makes more sense to me. Right, down to the retail outlets. Cleaners. I used to call that manual job. And those are classic 10-year poor jobs. Same for these ones. So that means your status isn't very good if you're a shop assistant. Sorry to all the shop assistants out there. It's just a game. Okay, trainee, management trainee. 5 fair. Middle manager, I think that's just average. In a retail outlet, decidedly average. It's not going to be like being in a government job or anything. Senior manager, that's good. 20 years, good. Okay, right. Hotel, 10 years poor. 10 years poor. Cleaner in a hotel is actually bad, I think. Well, it's not terrible. It's fine. At least you got a job. Management trainee is going to be average. Manager here, 15 years, average. Senior manager here, 20 years, good. Okay, so the different things just mean how good that job is perceived to be. Right, a check-in assistant at a spaceport is a 10-year poor. Cleaner, 10-year poor. Security guard, 10-year poor. So that's what I'm doing here. Yeah. Space traffic controller. Don't know why I said for that. It's an average job. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mechanics apprenticeship. I've got one of these yet. 6 years fair. Mechanic itself is 20 years fair. Yeah, that sounds about right. Life stage manager, 15 years average. Senior manager, 20 years good. Okay, 10 years poor. 6 years fair. 20 years fair. I'm going to have to go reasonably soon. Oh, it's 3:05. Look at that. Time is up officially. Although I just kind of want to get this done, so I'm going to go and get through this as much as I can. Where's the courier? 8 years poor. So if you have questions, this is a good time to ask them, and I'll try and ask them as I'm kind of going through and updating all of this. So this would be a great time for you to dive in and ask me a question if you've been dying to know something about the game, or want to know what I think about TDD or something like that, because that's kind of the hot topic. I'm going to blog about that probably later on in the week if I get time. Just talk a little bit more about my thoughts about TDD. I have kind of got to the point where I feel like I've reached the limits of what TDD can do. For me personally, I think I've been doing TDD for a decade. I've got a good level of experience with it, and I have some thoughts about when it's useful and when it isn't. The question, am I working full-time on this? I wish is the answer. I did a Kickstarter. I did a Kickstarter. Where's my mining? Do I not have a miner yet? No, not yet. I did a Kickstarter for the game back at the beginning of the year, and I really wanted to get that running. Basically, that was my ticket to a full-time gig on this game for 6 months. Unfortunately, it did not succeed, which is kind of sad. But having said that, I made a bunch of kind of contacts. I had a bunch of really interesting discussions with people. I got a bunch of publicity for the game. You know, I got 10 grand, £10,000, so that's like $18,000 per pledge for the game. That's quite a lot of money. I'm confident that means. Oh, hang on, that doesn't sound right. Middle manager, that should be average. I'm kind of confident that means that the game is going to work as a game, which means that even though I'm not full-time, I'm basically working as hard as I can on the game, getting to the point where I've got another Kickstarter running that will allow us to basically propel the game into the public eye around the end of the year. That's my plan. So I'm kind of, at the moment, building up as fast as I can to getting to that point, hopefully by the summer. That's my current plan, unless I completely lose track or something else happens or whatever. I want to get something running in the summer. It was great. Rock Paper Shotgun covered the game. That was awesome. There were lots of good things that happened. So I'm not writing off the Kickstarter process. I think it was a really good process to have gone through. It did take a bunch of my time up, but you know, it was definitely not a complete loss. Okay, we're almost there. Crime Lord. Where's the Crime Lord? He's kind of a Godfather character. That's what I'm going for with him. Okay, I think. Oh, we're almost done. These are all the same. Okay, unless I've made any obvious typos. My Fu Manchu, yes, exposure is difficult. It's difficult to get your name out there. It's just really hard. Basically, I've now put a marketing plan together and I'm marketing this game every day. And I've got a real good plan to do it. Okay, so what I want to get to is make sure that the organisations are still available. Voice of Grog, hello, thanks for coming and watching. Sorry that you missed the beginning of the stream. Yeah, do please follow and you know, come back next week. I'll have lots of questions, hopefully to answer at that point. Or I'll be able to answer your questions, I should say. Right, so let's just quite running this quickly. Okay, oh, boom, life option count. Oh yes, okay, so now the reason that that's not working is because we've gone over the max life options. I don't know what the max life options is actually. It's probably, well, it's certainly less than max life options. Well, it was generic life options, but we don't have that anymore. Yeah, 32. That's not going to cut it. It's going to be more like 96. Actually, let's keep it power of 2. Okay, let's see. So much better. Now I've commented out most of the game. The build time is insane, which is great, and I intend to keep the build time up as fast as possible. Okay, so people still aren't able to take those jobs, but in theory, we should have all of the life options in there. We should still be able to see the different things that you can do. Yes, that's all good. So great. So it looks like that refactor of getting the life options kind of inside the organization roles has worked. So that's great. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. I'm going to leave it there, I think. It is now 10 past 3, so I'm running a little bit over, but we did have a stream pause in the middle. Did have a massive Twitch fail about halfway through, so that's fair enough. Don't mind going a little bit over. So yeah, thanks ever so much for coming by. Please do follow me on Twitch if you'd like to see more of this, or follow us on Twitter. That's SoulTDR on Twitter, as you can see. On the, I don't know if I've actually got the Twitter there. Oh yes, you can see it right there. So that's the Twitter, and yeah, hopefully see you again on another stream in the future. Thanks guys, and speak to you soon. I'm here every week at 2 o'clock GMT, so same time, this time every week.